Some people say making sequels in Hollywood is bad for creativity, but if they are made with love and imagination, it can be a good thing. Many amazing movies like The Empire Strikes Back, Aliens, and Mad Max Fury Road are sequels. Even The Godfather Part 2 and The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King won the Academy Award for Best Picture. In 2023, there was lots of sequels and they varied in quality and box office success. Fast and Furious, Mission Impossible, and Indiana Jones had new movies, but not all did well. The MCU had Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and The Marvels, but only Guardians was a hit. Horror had a big year too, with Evil Dead, The Exorcist, Scream, and Saw having new entries. Let's see which ones were the best sequels of 2023 as we look back on the year's top movies. Before we dive into the details, subscribe to the Cine Wizard and hit the bell icon to stay up to date on the latest news and reviews.
Let them come.
Extraction 2. Extraction 2 turned out to be a surprisingly great sequel in the year. The first movie, Extraction, came out in 2020 and had cool action scenes. It got extra attention because it was released on Netflix during the pandemic when people couldn't go to the theaters. But the new sequel had to be good without that advantage. The main character, Tyler Rake, played by Chris Hemsworth, was a typical action hero in the first movie. But surprisingly, this new Netflix sequel made the character more interesting and deep. Joe Russo, who along with his brother made many successful MCU movies, wrote the screenplay for Extraction 2. People thought it was even better than the original film and really made the most of having Hemsworth as a star. In just 4 days after it came out, the sequel got 43 million views on Netflix. People liked it for its cool camera work, exciting action, and of course Hemsworth's fantastic acting. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Transformers: Rise of the Beast is the next part of the story after Bumblebee. It happens 7 years later and brings back Optimus Prime and his Autobots. They join forces with Noah Diaz, who knows a lot about electronics, and Alina Wallace, who's an expert in artifacts. Together, they try to stop the bad Transformers called the Terracons from bringing a giant robot unicorn to Earth. The Autobots get help from another group called the Maximals, who are Transformers with a beast theme, to save our planet. Bumblebee was a great Transformer movie because it focused a lot on the main character's journey. Rise of the Beasts is also fantastic, but in a different way. It's like the perfect live-action version of Transformers. There's a lot of action with cool fights, and the Transformers have strong personalities. This is unlike the older movies directed by Michael Bay, where the Transformers were mostly there for big action scenes. Rise of the Beasts has epic battles in different places, just like in the animated series. Fans have been waiting for a movie like this for a long time, and there's even a hint about G.I. Joe at the end, making the future of the franchise look exciting.
Everything you cared for will be consumed.
The Marvels. In the exciting follow-up to Captain Marvel, the brave Avenger Carol Danvers, played by Brie Larson, faces a new challenge. She gets pulled into a space tunnel, and her powers get connected to her niece Monica Rambeau, an astronaut named Kamala Khan, also known as Miss Marvel. Together, they form an unexpected team in the Marvels to save the world from the powerful Kree warrior Dar-Benn. When the Marvels came to theaters in the fall, people wondered how well it would do, especially after the last movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, didn't go so great with both critics and at the box office. While the Marvels didn't reach the same success as its predecessors and didn't make as much money, it got praise for the amazing performances of its cast. The chemistry between Larson, Paris, and Vellani was highlighted as they teamed up for an entertaining space adventure. The movie was liked more by the audience than by critics, and many enjoyed its fun and engaging story.
I can see it. And Kamala? Who's Kamala? Hi. She can turn light into physical matter.
Evil Dead Rise. The Evil Dead movies have a unique style in each one. The first one from 1981 is a scary, low-budget thriller set in isolation with some really creepy moments. The second, Evil Dead 2: Dead by Dawn, adds more humor, gore, and excitement. Then Army of Darkness goes in a lighter, more fun direction. But with Evil Dead Rise, the series goes back to its original scary roots. It's a proud moment for the creator Sam Raimi, with lots of blood and chaos. Originally, Evil Dead Rise was supposed to be on Max streaming, but it ended up being shown in theaters. This decision paid off because it made $147 million, making it the highest-earning movie in the franchise. It also got nominated for 2 Saturn Awards, including Best Horror Film, and got good reviews from both critics and fans. Changing the setting from a cabin to LA apartment kept the same level of chaos, making it a standout in horror sequels, doing better than The Exorcist Believer. Scream 6. The Scream movies have the good history with sequels, always finding interesting ways to talk about the past movies. Scream 6 did a great job connecting all the films and connecting on what's happening in today's culture. In this sixth one, Ghostface goes to New York City, causing chaos and targeting those who survived the Woodsboro killings from a year ago. The breakout star from Wednesday, Jenna Ortega, came back for this sequel with other stars like Melissa Barrera, Hayden, and Courtney Cox. People liked the change of setting, thinking it brought a new energy to the series. Scream 6 became the first movie in the thrilling series to make over $100 million at the box office since Scream 2 in 1997. It even won the MTV Movie and TV Award for Best Movie. However, the news of Melissa Barrera being fired from Scream 7 and Jenna Ortega leaving has made people unsure about the future of the next movie.
There's never been one like me, Gale.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. The famous adventurer Indiana Jones, played by Hollywood legend Harrison Ford, returned for his last big adventure in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. In this bittersweet tale, the daring archaeologist races against time to find a mystical dial that can change history. He teams up with his estranged goddaughter Helena, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, for this brave quest. The reaction to Dial of Destiny was a mix of feelings. Critics were impressed by Harrison Ford's charm and star power, and the movie brought back nostalgic memories for viewers. However, some thought it didn't have the same excitement as the earlier movies. Despite this, the final chapter reunited Ford with John Rhys Davies, Salah, and Karen Allen, Marion Ravenwood, and introduced new memorable characters. At 81, Ford proved he was still an exciting action star. Dial of Destiny gave the beloved hero a great farewell. Fans found it a worthwhile and excited goodbye.
Fasten your seatbelts. There might be some turbulence.
A Haunting in Venice. Kenneth Branagh, a talented actor and director, showcased his skills once again in the captivating mystery A Haunting in Venice. This time he not only directed but also starred in the film, bringing together amazing stars like Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Dornan, and Tina Fey. It's a sequel to his earlier movie Death on the Nile. Kenneth reprised his role as the famous detective who, while attempting a quiet life in Venice, gets involved in a spooky murder after attending a seance at a haunted plaza. Both critics and viewers agreed that A Haunting in Venice is the best of Kenneth's directed movies so far. It did exceptionally well at the box office, making over $122 million. The film, set against the eerie backdrop of Italy, expertly blended horror and mystery. This installment portrayed a more tired Hercule, disheartened by crime solving and mostly staying away from the public eye. Audiences enjoyed this spookier side of the famous literary detective, and the movie's release during the Halloween season delighted fans of the franchise.
A ghost killed her.
Creed 3. The third movie in the Creed series brought us more of Adonis' exciting story and journey. In this one, the retired boxer comes back to the ring to face his old friend. Michael B. Jordan, who plays Adonis Creed, not only acted but also directed this epic installment. The anime-inspired boxing scenes were a big highlight, and Jordan showed off his talents both in front of and behind the camera. Creed 3 became the highest-earning film in the series, making $275.3 million. It received several awards, including 4 Black Reel Awards and MTV Movie and TV Awards. Even though some fans missed Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, the movie focused well on Adonis Creed's story and stood strong on its own. Now Creed 4 is in the works, and it seems like the franchise is in good hands for more exciting stories.
What you doing, man? Trying to hurt me?
I know what you're doing, Donnie. You don't owe this dude nothing.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Tom Cruise returned as Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, where he faces a dangerous rogue AI threat called the Entity that could harm humanity. Ethan, along with his brave team and a new ally, played by Haley Atwell, races against time to stop this deadly foe. Both Dead Reckoning Part 1 and its sequel were filmed one after the other. The movie had a big budget of $291 million, making it one of the most expensive films ever. When it was released in July, it didn't dominate the box office as much as expected, mainly because it competed with the popular Barbenheimer. Despite this, it still made over $567 million and got praised by fans and critics alike, adding another successful chapter to the Mission Impossible franchise.
Knows your story and how it ends.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. In 2023, Marvel Studios faced challenges with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and The Marvels, both not doing well at the box office. However, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 brought a ray of sunshine for the studio. It became the most emotional Marvel movie since Avengers Endgame, especially with its touching treatment of Rocket Raccoon's backstory, voiced by Bradley Cooper. Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, and his funny team returned for a final adventure, protecting Rocket from the High Evolutionary and alien cyborg who created the raccoon. Unlike some franchises that lose their charm, Guardians of the Galaxy went out on the high note, leaving audiences eager for more. The third installment earned a massive $845.6 million, a much-needed success for Marvel Studios after a tough year. Fans loved the emotional depth, fantastic blend of action, humor and heart, considering it one of the Marvel's best movies in years. The trilogy concluded, giving the cherished characters the farewell they deserved.
We have been running.
John Wick Chapter 4. John Wick Chapter 4 is a stunning and exciting sequel that explores themes of death, chivalry, and vengeance. Many consider it not just the best John Wick movie, but possibly one of the greatest action films ever. In this fourth installment, John Wick seeks revenge against the High Table to finally gain his freedom. The legendary hitman faces both familiar and new challenges as he takes on anyone standing in his way. Fans worldwide eagerly went to theaters to see Keanu Reeves possibly bid farewell to his role as the tough assassin. The action-packed thriller earned over $440 million, making it the highest-grossing and most well-received in the beloved series. Despite the unfolding events in Chapter 4, a fifth film and the spin-off called Ballerina were announced in May 2023. Only time will tell when the potential sequel will officially start production and whether Reeves will return to the iconic role.
If you win, the table will honor its word.
SpiderMan Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is often called one of the best animated films ever. Surprisingly, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse managed to add depth to Miles Morales' growing up story. It's the only comic book movie to successfully introduce the idea of a multiverse. Miles goes on an amazing journey through different dimensions with Gwen Stacy, also known as Spider-Woman. Together, they uncover the Spider Society and face the wicked supervillain called the Spot. Similar to the first film, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse received praise for its amazing animation, fantastic voice performances, and engaging storyline. Critics and audiences loved it. People give it a grade A cinema score, and it got 3 Golden Globe nominations. It even won the award for Best Animated Film at the National Board of Review Awards. Now, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse and Spider-Woman are in the works. The sequel has made Miles a superhero that everyone loves, proving that an animated movie can be just as big as live-action superhero film. It was the third highest-grossing movie of the summer.
Wherever you go from here, you have to promise to take care of that little boy for me.
Following only Barbie and Oppenheimer. The sequels of 2023 showed that when done right, they can be really great. People enjoyed the action-packed Extraction 2, the cool Transformers Rise of the Beast, The sequel gave us exciting moments, and it was a fantastic year for movie fans.
Maybe there's another way to save our home.
You've never faced anything.
For more videos like this, subscribe to the Cine Wizard and press the bell icon to get notifications.